Praise and glory to the living God. So I had a dream that I was shown these different adults in their different families. So I was shown multiple different families in their homes. And anyway, it was an adult there. Sometimes it was a woman, sometimes it was a man in the different families. And they could only sleep for like 4 to 5 hours, and they wanted to get up and work on something. Some of them wanted to work on writing something. Some of them wanted to quietly build something. It was just showing me different things that they wanted to get up and do, that they felt led to do, and they could not go back to sleep for anything. And their families was real mad at them. And I saw in the families how, like, if it was a wife and children, or a husband and children and different things like that, or other relatives, it could be a grandparent that was there, they would be hollering at them so much, like, you need to go back to sleep. This is ridiculous. It's nighttime. You're not supposed to get up until later. And they would be really mad and hollering and like screaming at them about how they need to go back to sleep. And then they would get into bed and they would just lay there and they couldn't go back to sleep. Like, they were woke for the day, and it was useless, and it was just a waste of their time to just lay there. The things that they wanted to do, they wanted to do them very quietly and not wake up the family, but their families didn't care and just wanted them to go back to sleep. And so I was also shown how they had to go to work. So, like, for instance, they had to be at work at 8 a.m. and then they would get up at 3:25. For some reason, I saw a clock that was at 3:25 and it went to 3:26. So it was just showing me how they were getting up at like 3 something in the morning, and then they would have to be at work at 8. And so their families would be really mad because they were getting up so early, and they wanted them to get back in the bed and go back to sleep. And they would do so. They would lay in the bed and just lay there, even though they wasn't going back to sleep. And it would just be a waste of time. And so anyway, Jesus was in the dream, and he came, and it was this one guy whose wife and other family members were really hollering at him, and they wanted him to go back to sleep. So anyway, Jesus came while he was laying there, pretending as if he was going to go back to sleep. And Jesus quietly built a structure. It was some kind of wooden structure that this guy wanted to build. And that was another thing. The families didn't understand the things that they were being led to get up and work on. Like, they thought it was foolishness. Like, this lady wanting to write poems and write different things. They thought she was crazy. So they were mad at them about that too. So anyway, Jesus came in the middle of the night at like 3 something, and he built the wooden structure for this guy. And then the guy woke up and he saw it, and he was amazed and shocked, like, wow. And he knew that God had built this structure for him. And anyway, then God spoke to the families through his spirit. And he told them in their spirit that they need to show love and stop hollering and screaming at them, because they tend to get up at 3 something in the morning. Like, they would go to sleep at a decent time. The dream showed me that. I saw some of them going to sleep at like 7, 8, stuff like that. So that would even be more than 4 to 5 hours of sleep. And that's like me. A lot of times I go to sleep really early, 7, 8 o'clock. And I'm a lot of times up at like 3 something in the morning. And I have things to do later in the day as well, when my day starts. And there's a pressure as well, which I'm not going to get into, to tell me you need to go back to sleep. you need to not be on the computer. You could wake us all up, different things like that. But I'm like, I feel led to do this work and get this done. And so this dream was just confirming to be quiet if we get up at that time and do our work. Now, for me, if I go to sleep at like 7 and I get up at 3 something in the morning, then that's a lot of hours of sleep. Like now, I went to sleep last night at about, I want to say I went to sleep at about 6:30. I went to sleep really early. And right now it is about 1:05 in the morning, 1:04, something like that. So that's not a full 8 hours, but when I get up, I'm up. And a lot of times I want to go and start working on the computer and everything like that, or I want to work out and get my exercise out the way because the gym is not open yet. So a lot of times I have to work out at home, and I have that pressure, even though I'm trying to be as quiet as I can, and I'm being pressured that you need to get back into bed. And then I just lay there and I'll listen to the Bible and pray, but I can't go back to sleep. And so this dream was confirming that families need to show love. Jesus said to them that they need to show love and stop hollering and screaming at those family members that get up, as long as they're quiet and they quietly do what they feel led to do. Because the Lord was explaining how them just laying in a bed like that is a waste of time. Like seriously, it's like 1:05 in the morning. I'm up. I can get a lot done. But being pressured to stay in my room and stay in the bed and don't do anything and don't work out because I've been told those things, it's a complete waste of my time. Then I have to work out later in the day. Then I have to do the work on the computer later in the day and everything else I have to do. And I get together with my family to pray and read the Bible as well. Now, I start off my day reading the Bible, period. Let me just say that. Let me make sure I throw that in. No matter what time I wake up, the first thing I like to do, like if I have a dream, I will first record my dream so I don't forget it. And then after that, I go into reading the Bible. I go into prayer. I thank God for the dream. And I just start praying and reading the Bible. And then after that is when I tend to want to get up, work out, do my work on the computer, or do different things that I want to do. So that was a dream that I had. And I pray that it encourages families to be kind and show love and don't holler at us and that get up early, okay? And it's okay. You know, let us do our work for God. Go back to sleep. You okay? And everything's going to be fine. Anyway, that was the dream I had. Jesus bless you all. Bye.